asked how I stay creative or where I get inspiration from, and I think inspiration always seems to hit when I least expect it. Like usually when I'm feeling really relaxed, when my brain is completely switched off from work, maybe when I'm on the beach or walking mochi through the park or visiting a garden centre. I think just being surrounded by nature, that's when it really sparks new ideas. It's like my mind finally has the space to wander. And once I have a general idea, I absolutely love creating mood boards. Sometimes for an entire collection and sometimes just for one single design. And it's never about copying exactly, it's more of a jumping off point. And when it comes to sketching, I usually dive straight into Affinity Designer. It's like second nature to me now. But if I'm not super clear on my vision, I'll grab my iPad and just sketch with no pressure, no overthinking. It's just to get my ideas out of my head and onto paper or the screen. And then comes the tweaking, the endless colour variations, shifting elements around, making what feels like 100 tiny edits until suddenly it just clicks. And that's when I know it is done. At least until I decide to tweak it one more time. So I had a moment this morning where I was thinking, I'm 31 and I haven't made it yet in the business. And then I immediately stopped myself and I was like, wait, what does made it even mean? I've been running this business for 10 years now and it's grown and developed and pivoted and changed with me over the years. And I started out doing logo stickers and branding and wedding invitations. And now I'm here in my little studio in my spare bedroom, and I've designed over 20 exclusive sweater and clothing collections in the last 3 years. The business has not looked the same for 10 years. So why am I putting myself down for feeling like I'm in the same place when I'm not? Somehow over the years, it's evolved into this, a business that pays my bills, my mortgage. It allows me freedom and flexibility, and that's all I'm asking for. And I get to do what I love every single day. That is the dream. And yet I still found myself questioning whether I was successful enough. But then I was thinking, success looks different to everyone. And for me, it's not just about where I work or how many employees I have. I love working from home. I love being here. I mean, yes, I have dreams of one day building a separate studio space in the garden, but I love being at home. I can take Mochi for a walk whenever he wants, and I'm sure he loves that part. It's just about creating a business that supports my lifestyle, allows me to be flexible, and has brought together the most amazing creative community. So in this vlog, I want to take you behind the scenes of my week, what I'm doing. I'm designing new products. I have a new collection on the way, which I was working on at the start of the video. I want to work on upcoming launches and just figure things out as I go, because that's what running a small business is all about. So let's get into this week's vlog. Lately, I've been loving the idea of using my newsletter as a little story time space, somewhere where I can share my thoughts and experiences in a more personal way beyond just social media. And for my latest email, I wanted to open up about something that I chatted about at the start of this vlog and something that I know a lot of creatives can relate to. Recently, I posted about turning 31 and feeling like I haven't made it yet. It was one of those posts where I just spoke straight from the heart. And the response was incredible. So many of you shared your own journeys, your own doubts, and the way you're redefining success on your terms. And I knew I wanted to continue that conversation in my newsletter, to dive a little deeper and chat with people who truly get it. That's why I love using Omnisend. It makes it so easy to create meaningful emails that actually connect with your audience. Whether it's just sending out a heartfelt story or a product update or even just a little check-in, OmniSend helps you reach the people who care the most. Plus, the automation tools are a game changer. You can set up emails that are personal without spending hours on them. And for me, email isn't just about selling, it's more about building real relationships with the people who support what I do. And if you're running a small business, a newsletter is such a powerful way to connect beyond the algorithm and share your story in your way. So if you've been thinking about starting or leveling up your emails, I highly recommend checking out OmniSend. It's honestly been such a game changer for me, and I think you'll love it too. Now it's time to hit send on this one. I hope you love it. So it is Monday today, and let me show you my new tripod actually before I put you in. So just a quick one. This was kindly gifted to me from Craft Geek, and they kindly sent me this new tripod. And the reason I love it is because I don't catch my fingers in it anymore. I don't know whether it was just me, but I always caught my fingers in this one. It's just one from Amazon, trying to put it up and down. Maybe I'm just being silly, but I don't catch my fingers in this one because, okay, I'm going to see if you can see this properly, because, did you see that? You just pop it down and it opens. So no more catching my fingers in my tripod. So thank you, Craft Geek. I'll link them down below because I know a lot of you guys are vloggers and you film your creations and things, and I think this will be really handy for you. Anyway, today is Monday and I've started doing a little roundup or like a weekly schedule every Monday on just like a simple Word document where I write down my weekly wins. So I reflect on what happened last week, what went well, and then I think of all the tasks and goals that I want to do this week. And then I do the same thing every Monday so that it keeps me on track and keeps me working on the business rather than just in the business, because goodness knows we got to do both. But today I've been developing, I don't know if I showed you in the last vlog, I've been developing the planner pages. Let me just focus this for you. So I've been developing the planner pages for the CoconuTacha planner that I plan to launch this summer. I want it to be a daily planner. I have a lot of reasons. I think daily planners are the most productive and you get the most done. So I'm pretty happy with the left page. We have a schedule running down here, and then we have a to-do list, which is broken up by priorities. Just 3, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Important tasks, and then if I have time. And I love the way it looks. The second page, I don't know if I'm there yet, but I just have a little shopping list, a note section, a little water tracker. I don't tend to use these myself. Let me know if you use them in the comments. And then I wanted to add some sort of journaling section because I think this is so useful for everyone. I think everyone should journal, but just to reflect on how you're feeling, whether that's in the morning or after the day has ended. Maybe I should change that question, but let me know what you think of this double page spread for the daily planner. So I really want to perfect this double page spread, because once that's perfected I can send this off and get it sampled. I'm so excited to release these. I've been working on this. I started working on it last January. Things got in the way and now it's full steam ahead. We are going for it. So let me know what you think, what you use in a planner. My reasons for it being a daily planner is because that's what I use, and I think I can design it the best rather than a weekly planner. There are so many weekly planners out there, and personally for me a daily planner helps me get stuff done more than a weekly planner does. But let me know what kind of layout you like, what lists you use. Do you like the layout? Would you use the journaling section? Do you use the water tracker? Do you use goal trackers? I want to keep it simple because once this is filled in, it's going to look more overwhelming than the design already looks. So the design needs to stay simple, and then dotted throughout the planner I'll have like little illustrations, I'll have stickers, there'll be a monthly section, which I've already done actually. It'll be undated. So at the start of the month we'll have a little month that you can fill in like that. I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. I just think I need to add like a little title there to say notes, because that is lined. These are past iterations where I had big tasks all on one page, and then I had like a double page journal spread, but I think that will be too much for those who don't journal. It's been through a lot of iterations already. And then and I want to develop the designs that I've made for the spring summer collection this year. We've gone on a total pivot with that one. It was going to be like snacks and sunshine based, maybe some beach huts or like ice lollies and things. And then I thought my audience are mainly creatives. My best sellers are my small business design, the Making Magic design, and the Making It Up As I Go design. And all of these things are aimed towards creatives and creators, artists, illustrators, designers. So why don't I make something for them? So we've pivoted and the designs are now more creative based rather than generic summer based. And I still want to make the summer designs. I'm just not sure on them. My confidence isn't there with those designs at the moment, but let me show you what I've done so far. So here's where it started, where we have the sunshine and snacks design. I would still like this to be a simple embroidered design, but investing in things like this is expensive, and I'm not sure how popular something like this would be in my store, although I think it would look really, really cute. And then I was just going through different iterations, some ice lollies, some fries. I still have the French fries and Good Vibes design, and I do want to bring this back, but although I've developed it over the last few years, it wasn't a bestseller. I'm not sure whether that's because of the design or whether that's just because it's such a generic illustration. And then I was just playing around with some candy floss. And then I was thinking of quotes, naps, snacks and sunshine sketching and stationery. So here's where I started to think about summer mixed with being creative with these quotes here. And then I just let myself be creative without any boundaries. We went from that to the new Daydreamer Society design, which I think would look really cute as a sticker, or maybe even a logo like on the left breast of a t-shirt or something like that. And then I really love this style of t-shirt. So it's like slightly cropped, more fitted, and it would be embroidered with the text Daydreamer on it. So nice and simple with the pink sleeves. I really, really, really love that. And then I made this one, which says my head is up in the clouds, because it always is. I'm not entirely sure about this one, but let me know what you think. And then this is just the Daydreamer Society on a t-shirt, just to see what it'd look like. And then I made an iPod because I was going like full 90s or maybe early 2000s actually. This doesn't really fit in with the style, but it's sort of like the dreamy daydreamer type of vibes. This is how my head is up in the clouds would look on the t-shirt as well. What else did we do? French fries and Good Vibes on a sweater. This one, the Doodles and Daydreams, I think is my favorite. So this was inspired by one of my very first sweaters design, which was it just said Dreamer on it, and I had a few sparkly bits and rainbows and stuff on it. So this is like sort of an updated version, mixing both the daydreamy feel with the creative touch. So like we have a pencil here and a paintbrush here. This is my favorite. I would love to see this on a lilac sweater if I can source a lilac sweater. Sort of like this, but this sweater in real life is a bit darker than this. I don't know if I have any examples here with me. No, I don't have any examples, but that sweater does not look like that in real life. It's a lot more vibrant, whereas the Dreamer sweater was a very pale lilac. It was really nice. So I kind of want to get something like that for that sweater maybe. Or maybe just print it on a t-shirt. I think I've done that as an example over there. Yeah, so that will be on a nice lilac t-shirt. Yeah, let me know what you think. I think what I'm going to do is put these into a vote to be made into t-shirts. This to be printed and those to be embroidered, because I can't do all three at once. So it's best to focus on what is the most popular. So let me know in the comments, would you like the Daydreamer Society embroidered t-shirts, or the My Head is Up in the Clouds embroidered t-shirt, or the Doodles and Daydream as a printed t-shirt? And then I think I'm going to work on trying to source a nice lilac sweater for this to go on. I mean, it would work on pink, but I've got a lot of pink and the design just says lilac to me. So I'm going to try and find a nice lilac sweater that we can embroider that on. And I'm definitely going to make the Daydreamer slightly cropped tees as well, because I really want that to exist. So I've just posted a poll on Patreon to see what people would like to wear next, whether it's the printed Doodles and Daydream t-shirt or one of the embroidered t-shirts on the left chest. But now I'm wondering what this design would look like without the outlines embroidered onto a t-shirt, if I could do that. I'm just gonna make a mock-up and see what it would look like. Good morning, it is Tuesday today. I left yesterday after putting up a poll on Patreon about which t-shirt people would like to wear out of the designs that I made, and there was a clear winner. Most people said they would like to wear the Doodles and Daydreams as a printed t-shirt, which surprised me because I always think people would rather embroidery, but I do think that design, because it's so large, will work better as a printed t-shirt rather than an embroidered t-shirt. I did try it without outlines, but I'm not 100% sure. What I am sure on is I'm going to get those printed on lilac, and I'm going to send off the Daydreamer text as embroidery to my embroiderer and get that made as a sample. And then I'm not sure what to do with the other illustrations, whether I can just make them as stickers or maybe a notepad. I will be bringing back my stationery this year. I think I'm going to do like a big launch at Stationery Fest or something similar to that, because I have a lot of things in production right now and a lot of plans in my head that I need to figure out. But I think it is time to send off for the samples. Let's just get it done. So here's what it looks like without the outlines, but I don't think it would look good on the lilac tee. I think it'd look better on white. I personally love how cute that looks, but I don't know, should it be like a printed sweater? I don't know, or like an art print, or maybe on stationery. I don't know. I love the illustration, but I'm not sure what I would use it for. However, I will be getting this as prints to go on the lilac tea. I love how it looks, and it will match the rest of my range really, really well. I've been working all day on updating the planner spreads. I think I'm at a point now where I'm pretty happy with how everything looks. So this is the final undated monthly spread. The reason there's like a big gap in the middle is because the planners will be ring bound, and when you have a ring bound planner flat, the rings sort of take up a little bit of space in the margins here. So I'm just making sure everything is within the margin so that the rings don't go over the design at all, if that makes sense. So this is the monthly section. It is undated, so you can start any time of the year, and then I put a little note section on the side here. Pretty happy with how that looks. And then I had some feedback from my Patreons, and I just changed the design of the daily spread so that it goes to a full bleed instead of the arch, and we have more space for more tasks like this. And I think I'm pretty happy with this. The journal section is smaller than it was because I know not everyone journals, even though it is very important and very good for you. I recommend that you do. So I've made the section smaller just to encourage a quick little journaling session every day that will take you, I don't know, 30 seconds. And then I want to do more, but I've made a goal planning section which looks like this. So double page spread again, and on the left, and this is really bad lighting, I'm sorry, let me move you. What's like a creative business goal? Maybe like post on social media consistently or make a TikTok or something. So these are the little goals. The big goal then on the right will be the big one that you want to achieve, maybe like 4 of these a year. I would say a big goal example could be something like hitting a certain revenue, hitting a certain follower count. A big goal that requires a lot of different steps, and you break them down into smaller steps, much like over here. And then we have a little notes and ideas section on this side. I'm just hoping that this section can be super helpful, because that's how I write down my goals and get them done, is by writing down the big idea, the big end goal, the big picture, and then writing down the tiniest steps imaginable to get there. Just for example's sake, say your big goal is to reach so many subscribers by the end of the year to your email newsletter. The little goals that you want to write down to do that will be how you're going to get this. So you would advertise your newsletter on Instagram or advertise it on the social media platform that you're on. Maybe you'd host a giveaway, maybe you'd host a challenge that's just for newsletter subscribers, maybe you would post a sneaky sale or discount that's only for newsletter subscribers, and these will go in this section here in order to reach the big goal there. So that is that. I still want to do like an introduction sort of section to the planner, and obviously I want to sprinkle it with artwork and bits you can pull out and put on your walls. But yeah, let me know what you think. I still want the planner to be, and it needed to work. It needs to work. It needs to be productive. It needs to help people reach their goals. It needs to help people be organized, and I have used a planner since I was in school. We were made to use these planners when we were in school, and if we didn't write our homework or anything in them, we would get in trouble. So I've been forced to do a planner since I was 11 years old, and even before that I journaled anyway. Because I've done this all my life, this is just what comes naturally, and it works, it really does. So if you have any feedback, if you think I'm missing something that you would like to see on here, let me know. Yeah, the more feedback the better, because I want these planners to be amazing. I want to launch them in the summer as part of Stationery Fest, or maybe the Bath on Paper Festival, but they're going to be launched in June/July. So we have time to perfect them, but I need to get a prototype made pretty much ASAP. So let me know what you think, and I will make adjustments if needed, but I hope you love it. One of my most favorite things about being part of this creative community is just how supportive and encouraging everyone is. It's so easy to feel like you're on this journey alone, but the truth is we are all figuring things out as we go. And that's the best part about it, isn't it? And this past weekend was a perfect reminder of that. I decided to take the Friday off just to slow down and recharge and soak up a bit of inspiration. We wandered through some markets, just enjoyed the atmosphere, and it was exactly what I needed. And then Sunday was my market day, and it was so lush getting to catch up with fellow creatives and small business owners. There's just something so special about being surrounded by people who just understand it and get it, and they understand both the highs and the challenges of this journey. And then Sunday was Mother's Day, which was just the most wholesome of days, painting pottery with my mum and my sister, eating delicious food and just enjoying being in the moment. It was one of those weekends that reminded me why I do what I do, why I started in the beginning. This is just why I do it, why this journey, this process is just as important as any goal. Success looks different for everyone, and more often than not, it's not about some big milestone. It's about the little moments in between, the people you meet, and the experiences you have along the way. So if you've been feeling stuck or you're unsure of where you're headed, just know that you are definitely not alone. Keep creating, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep enjoying the process. And if you ever need a reminder that you're doing just fine, just look around. This community is full of people who get it, who are rooting for you and who would love to cheer you on. So let's keep the conversation going. Drop a comment, reach out to someone, and let's keep lifting each other up, because at the end of the day, that is what is most important. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.